Yes, I've tickled a sloth, and you know what? They are ticklish,
There we
and
go.
that's why I'm legally not allowed to go into any zoo.
Okay.
There's a
Because
force
I
in
did.
all of us that science knows nothing about, the force of fear.
Welcome everyone to Induced Fear. I'm your host Oscar, and for this episode, it's going to be the Cryptid Fight Club that I promised, and I have with me Mothboy Matt. How you doing,
Ooh.
man?
Hey, how's it going, brother? Man, I am so stoked on this Cryptid Fight Club thing. I've never had to experience it. I mean, my boy, the white monsters,
Yeah.
they got the drop. I have a feeling. I have a strong feeling they got the drop on the Goatman.
Yeah, I was trying to rack my brain for a while, like who could go up against the white monsters,
Right.
these giant, ground sloth creatures. I mean, they
Mhm.
got claws
Yeah.
and stuff. So I was like, what can go up against it? And I was gonna do something. I was gonna say Yeti or something like that. And I was like, I gotta
Mm.
save him, put him in the pipeline for
Right.
somewhere else down the road. Why not Goatman?
Yeah. um yeah. Yeah, thanks for having me on. This is great. I love your podcast, man. So this is really exciting.
Oh yeah, I love your guys's. I mean, it was one of the ones I
Uh
listened to um, while I first started this one.
mm,
So
cool.
yeah,
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 I'm so sorry. Yeah.
no, man, no, dude, because you guys like to have fun. That's what I like about it. It's like
Yeah.
you guys are in the, I guess, the same mindset that I have. Is like this stuff is awesome,
Mhm.
but it's not something to take too serious.
God
Like,
no. God no.
yeah,
Yeah, it's there's a lot of podcasts that already take this stuff really seriously,
yeah,
and that's fine, but at heart, I don't really take too much seriously. And I think life is just like way too short to I don't know. It's I have this thing where um I know that none of this will be I have a feeling that none of this will ever be scientifically
yeah. I get you.
proven. It's a lot of this stuff is so the paranormal cryptozoology um it's so anomalous, um and for anything to be proven, something either has to be captured or there has to be, you know, you have to apply the scientific method. And that means that you have to do the same test over and over and over again or get the same results from something over and over and over again.
Yeah,
And if these things are just happening one and done to random people throughout, and yeah, I don't see so why take it seriously? It's a lot of fun to get into. I love
yeah,
it. It's something very near and dear to me, but we are goofs and we just couldn't do a serious
yeah.
podcast. And I
I think
love
that's
your
what.
podcast because, when you and your brother go at it, you guys are fantastic.
Well, I'm glad you think so.
Mhm.
Yeah, we both have different outlooks.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
my thing too with you is like, I think when you're applying the scientific method to these monsters that we all like love,
Mhm.
you have to put in your mind at the same time you wanting it to be real. You have to know
Right.
like this is really crazy.
Right.
Like,
Right. And it's you have to and you have to, you know to a certain degree that like this stuff is, you know, something that we can even understand, right?
yeah,
Because some of this stuff, um, maybe we'll never understand, especially because we, as a civilization, only know what we know, right? And we
yeah,
can't, if something is from the beyond, from our understanding of science, like science as we know it, um, there's just no way to understand that. So even if we did get evidence, there's a strong possibility we might not even know how to interpret that.
yeah. Or the sense of like, as a society, people not accepting like say if it was proven that Bigfoot is real, but like most people were like, "Nah, that's fake."
Right.
You're still looked out at as the outlier of
Oh yeah.
believing in a monster.
Right. Right. So it's still, there's still risk in it, but um I will entertain just about anything.
Oh, same here.
Because I feel like once you've had something weird happen to you, you're like, all right, all bets, everything's just
Yep.
out the window, like you're in. So
Yeah. Well, for this cryptid fight club,
hmm
you have chosen the White Monsters of Sherman, New York, and you guys just released this bad boy right here.
absolutely. How did you like
All
it?
right. I really enjoyed it, man. I really
Cool.
enjoyed it.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, even the illustrations too in
Yep.
there
Dot
was
is Dot is
yeah.
a genius. I he's just so talented, and he's got different styles that he works into, and it's just brilliant. We wouldn't want anyone else working on this.
No, they were killer.
Yeah.
They were killer, man. And then I figured
Hmm.
for this first part of this little series that I want to
Yep.
do, uh, since it'll be Goatman versus the White Monsters,
Hmm.
um, I wanted you to just give a breakdown of the White Monsters. That way, people
Yeah.
know what they are.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. So in the 1960s, in Sherman, New York, which is the town over from where I grew up,
Oh, nice.
um, this family and other members of the community were seeing these massive um, mylodons, or giant ground sloths, like white, completely white, always white, um, and encounter after encounter. And so the this it was first reported in John Keel's book, The Complete Guide to Mysterious Beings. And um, the only thing in there was a letter from a boy, an anonymous child from Sherman, New York, saying that, "Hey, I need someone to come out and investigate this. I'm seeing these things and they're real. Like, please believe me," and giving a short description of what he was seeing. Um, and it most certainly wasn't the first cryptid that got me into it, but I remember reading about that, um, in my later teen years, and just being so fascinated that there was a mystery, right? Because I got into uh, I got into cryptozoology when I was very little. I used to go to my grandma's. Um, my mom was always into Bigfoot, so there was always that atmosphere in the house.
Like
Um,
of mysterious creatures out in the world.
right,
Yeah,
right. So my mom was totally into Bigfoot, still is into Bigfoot. But uh, I would go to my grandma's house and look up different, like things about cryptids or the paranormal, and print them off at her house, and then bring them to school and try and make friends by handing them out to people.
yeah.
Um, and let me tell you, it actually didn't work. It didn't work too well. So, um, but yeah. Anyways, back to the story. Bringing it back. Okay, so yeah. Um, so we wrote this letter to John Keel. John Keel did responded and said, "I'm sorry, but I get a lot of these and I can't investigate them all."
Yeah.
And then decide to put it in that book. And it was, oh gosh, last year, or at the very end of the year before that. No, it was the year before that, the end of the year before that. But we were we all became so just obsessed with this case, and we were like, let's try and find this anonymous boy. Like, let's try and find this anonymous human. And yeah, and then we would like search all the like names in Sherman, and we would go through um phone books and websites and little like groups, Facebook groups and everything, and just asking random people. Till one day, we got a response back from someone, and it was John's son, and he's like, "That's my father. He's been telling me about this story since I was a kid." And he put us in contact with John. His name is John Goodwill. He's a um, biology teacher out of Ohio. So I I talked with him, and he said that that experience he had actually got him into the field of biology and made him want to become a teacher.
Nice.
Um, so we found him. We brought him to Sherman, um, and we talked with the mayor about their um, renting out their little community center, and then we interviewed him. And yeah, the rest is history. It was this giant prehistoric ground sloth that was all white, claws. Um, it ranged. It was about 12 feet tall, standing.
And then
Um,
I think in the book you guys state that he estimated closer to the 12.
Yep, it was like
Yeah.
12 to 18, but, when he was a kid, he said 18, but he said it was actually probably 12 because
Yeah.
kids exaggerate size. And then he said it had a 6-foot long tail that dragged behind it, all and that, you know, uh, they even saw, like, small ones too, like baby white
Yeah.
monsters. Um, but yeah, that's that's like the description, the breakdown of it all. The book covers 8 encounters. Um, I've got a few of them if you want to. So there's so
Yeah, of
you
course.
know so a couple of them. Um, One of my favorites was him and his brother, um, who his name is Ron. Um, he's a great great human. He also um he had experiences with John. Um and him and Ron and some neighborhood boys were out camping in their front yard, and John wakes up screaming, and it startles the other boys, um and the father came out, heard it, ran out, and saw one of these creatures perched over the tent.
Okay, I was picturing it in my mind, that exact image that is illustrated in the book. I like it.
Yeah.
That's what I was
And
picturing in my mind.
his father scared it away, and it kind of lumbered up this hill and then into the woods. Um, and it just it he said he can't remember what woke him up, if it was a nightmare, if it was a sound, if he saw it. Um, but if it was a nightmare, did this thing induce a nightmare or
Mm.
something? And is there like a paranormal aspect to it? I don't know. No one knows, but um, that's one. And I love the one there. The entire family is heading out towards Mayville, which is another town directly over from Sherman. Um, and they see the dad just swerves the car over, pulls over, and they all get out and watch these white monsters and two small ones like wrestling, um, like playing.
Almost like when
And
people see bears in the woods or something like that. Yeah.
right, right, absolutely. Um, and we sent all the pictures, and had John look them over and made sure that um that they were being done right, and Jonathan Dodd did like a spot on idea and was really receptive to changing things that John remembers, John
Hmm.
Goodwill. Um, but yeah, it's uh, I felt like a little starstruck meeting him because I don't think he understood how,
How much
um,
the story meant.
yeah, how important his story was, to me, to
Yeah,
all of
that's.
us.
I mean, when you get to like not to the bottom of it, because I mean, you still didn't figure out like catch one of the creatures or see one of the creatures yourself.
Right,
But it's a story that meant something to you, and you were actually able to dive into it and it lead you somewhere.
right,
Like
right.
that's awesome about that.
Hmm.
I tried doing that with the Dogman story out here. I got nowhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so are there a lot of Dogman sightings out?
It's one There was one Dogman story that happened, and it's 30 minutes away in the city called Lakewood,
Okay.
and they dubbed it the Lakewood Lichen, and that was just the one story that came
Whoa.
from it.
I live 30 minutes away from a Lakewood, but there's
No
just
Lakewood Lichen.
Walmarts there. Yeah, no Lakewood like. Um oh man. Dogman, those stories, those are unsettling. I don't know what it is. I think it's just cuz like my brain is like how is this like
Yeah,
exist? Like how does it exist and why, and like it always seems so like malevolent. Like it's just
yeah,
dead set on hurting people in general. It's wild.
yeah. All I described it was like it terrorizes people.
Mhm.
It's like some sort type of fear eater. Like it brings you the most fear that you can have in your life,
Mhm.
and then we'll leave you with that, and then go
Right.
find somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, those are wild. I'm really excited for Aaron Deese's new book.
Oh
Uh
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
That dude's great. That book's going to be awesome. The doc that's like going to accompany it is
yeah,
going to be amazing.
yeah. Werewolves are real.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this creature, it has the size. I think
Yep. Yeah.
over Goatman,
Yeah.
because I think Goatman is probably, I would say at max probably 7 feet tall, eight
Yeah,
feet
a
tall.
little bit bigger than the average people.
Yeah. Um, Really, there's a whole bunch of stories that every place kind of has its Goatman story.
Mhm.
It's not as narrowed down as the White
Right.
Monsters of New York. You have weird stories of a scientist who was just messing around with a bunch of weird shit and ended up making some type of goat man. Um,
What? I love that. That's cool.
yeah, yeah, like some type of old sci-fi comic type of deal.
Yeah. Like a
Um,
Frankenstein's monster type
yeah,
thing?
exactly. I
Cool.
think one of them. I don't know if it's actually this story. It might be with the type of pigman story,
Mhm.
but this scientist actually turns his wife into this goat
Mm.
man creature. Like he's trying to save her, and he ends up putting like body parts of animals and things like that together.
I love that because I'm really into like horror movie. That's like a horror movie thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. We have Pigman stories up like north from here, probably an hour. There's a Pigman Road
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I know I talked about one pigman story here on the
Hmm.
podcast, and that's only because like I dress up as like some pigman for Halloween,
Hmm.
and that's the only reason why I talked about it. Um, but yeah, when it comes down to the goat man, he either has an axe,
Hmm.
and like I mean like a hatchet axe, not like a axe playing guitar.
Yeah.
It would be a lot cooler if he just
It'd
came
be a
out with a
lot
guitar
a
and
lot less
just
scary.
yeah, and serenaded the white monsters
Yeah.
into winning. The only thing that comes into my mind is like this goat man walking out, and he has this guitar, and he just because I'm getting Stranger Things in my mind, just playing
Yeah.
Master of Puppets.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's I if the Goat Man did have a guitar, he'd be doing Metallica
Yeah,
licks. He'd be
everywhere he
doing
went.
metal riffs. Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes he has that. Sometimes he he doesn't have the axe. There are other stories where he's paranormal in some sense,
Mm.
like Goatman Bridge.
Yeah,
Um,
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's very demonic in the sense. I mean,
Yeah.
we all watched it on TV when he choked Zach Bagans on
Oh god.
on an episode.
Oh my god. Man, it was weird. I guess Zach Baggins came out as like a douchebag or whatever. And
Hmm.
then and then there was a bunch of people surprised and I was like, "Really? You were that surprised? Really? All right, cool, man. All right. Well, the guy that wants to fight Ghost all the time,
Yeah,
you were really all right. Well, hey, whatever."
but yeah, in that episode, the Goat
Mhm.
Man chokes him,
Yeah.
and he's like crying and holding his neck. Uh,
Oh god.
so for this fight, we'll take out supernatural elements from the Goat Man.
Cool. All right.
um, no weapons. I don't think it'll be fair for him to have a weapon.
Nah,
Uh,
just
Either
creature
way, it's
brute on
decided
brute
by the
force.
voters. Yeah,
Yeah.
either way, it's decided by voters. But we'll
Right,
just make it fun.
right.
Oh, so I'm just picturing
Mhm.
one. The Goat Man is coming. We'll say he's the amalgamation of parts put together by
Yeah.
some crazy scientists, and he
Mhm.
wanders out of this cabin in the woods. At the same time, the white monster is this giant ground sloth is wandering into the woods,
Mhm.
and they somehow see each other. And I would imagine the Goat Man to be the first to
Ye
to attack,
Oh, yeah.
because by all accounts, the white monsters seem more uh, no, they're
Peaceful.
not, yeah, peaceful. They're not going to do
Mhm.
anything. They're just kind of living. Uh,
Goatman's kinda cocky.
yeah,
He's, like, kinda he's that guy.
yeah. He's just going to do his goat like scream,
Yep.
shouting and running at the white monster.
What do you think the
Um,
Goatman would sound like?
there
Give it
was
your best Goatman. Let's hear your best
no,
Goatman.
because it's just going to be a scream. It's just going to be a like just real loud scream.
That's kinda my thing on my podcast is I just screech. That's all I ever do. That's all I have to contribute to the Mothboys
Yeah.
is screeching, so
That's all I would imagine it being is just a scream. Like the meme that went around of the goat just making his
Oh,
little noise, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
exactly what I'm picturing.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Um, I don't think I think the white monster is just probably gonna huff at that. Not
Mhm.
even do anything, but huff at it
Yep.
until this goat man makes contact. And I'm either thinking he's gonna try to ram it,
Yeah.
or he's gonna use them powerful legs. Because if he got goat legs,
Yeah.
they're pretty powerful.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the goats, the little goats doing parkour
Oh,
on
yeah.
things.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm
Yep.
imagining this goat man to do, is like just bouncing off of anything, like an anime character,
Yeah.
just sprinting and just dodging through the trees. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
only for ultimately the white monster to use his claw and just smack him down.
yeah. He's doing, like, all these, like, parkour tricks, doing, like,
Yeah,
flips in the air and stuff, pulling, like, a Yoda from, like, Clone Wars when he's
yeah,
fighting Count Dooku, and then the sloth just slowly, like, slaps him down.
yeah. That's all I imagine is him
That's
trying way too hard.
it's like when, you ever watch Indiana Jones, any of the Indiana Jones
Yeah,
movies? Yeah, what is it? Is it I don't know if it's Temple of Doom, I forgot which one, but this dude's, like, wielding swords and doing all
yeah,
these sword tricks, and then he just pulls out a pistol and shoots the dude.
yeah. That's what
Yeah.
I'm imagining. But that's only gonna piss the goat man off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now
He
he's
just
gonna have
got
to
slapped in
readjust.
public. He just got slapped in
Yeah,
public. What is
yeah.
this guy gonna do?
And he doesn't even know what he is at this point. He's just
Right.
going
Mhm.
at it. And I think somebody brought it up. Um, one of the voters for Goatman, uh, it was the one vote that came through TikTok for Goatman, and he said that he doesn't know why,
Mhm.
but Goatman has some sense of intelligence, unless they left him
Right.
with a goat brain.
Right.
He has some sense of intelligence.
Right. It depends on the scientist. Like
Yeah,
scientists what if they couldn't last minute couldn't get a human brain? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Those things happen. Sometimes you can't get a brain, so you have to go with a goat brain.
yeah. Which you don't want, because he's gonna stop mid fight and start rubbing his head against the tree,
Right.
and
Right.
there's nothing's gonna happen. What would you think after the white monster slams him down?
Yeah.
and sees that he's going to attack again. What do you think this white monster is going to do? How is his plan of attack now? Because now he knows
Yeah.
that this goat man is just attacking
Aggressive.
him. Yeah.
Right. So what I think is going to what I think is going to happen is the goat man is going to, you know, stomp his hoof on the ground, charge, just head first, charge the white monsters, and it's just going to the the sloth is gonna he's gonna hit the sloth full on, full force, and the sloth will probably move like an inch, and then the goat will fly back, and then when he's trying to get back up, the sloth will lumber on over to him, very Eeyore style,
Yeah.
and then just plop his body just on the goat man.
Why
Um,
bother and just sit
yeah,
down?
why? Like the goat man, like the goat man is Tigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like this is Eeyore's revenge.
Yeah. A beautiful movie. Right, that one will come after that Blood and Honey, that Winnie the Pooh horror
Oh,
movie that came out. Eeyore's Revenge will be the next
Eeyore's
one.
revenge. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the goat would do after that. I haven't the slice group maybe tickle the sloth's you know booty or I don't know. I don't know if the sloth is ticklish. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Um, who knows? I
Yeah.
would. I don't know. Have you ever tickled a sloth before?
You know
Is the
what?
question.
Are people going to be listening to this?
Yeah, right now or no?
Yeah, I mean not later. So yes, I've tickled a sloth, and you know what? They are ticklish,
There we
and
go.
that's why I'm legally not allowed to go into any zoo.
Okay.
Because I did tickle a sloth, and they're like, "Sir, you can't go
You have to
the
wear
animal."
you have to
Yeah,
wear a lanyard that says "I tickle sloths"
I
so
tickle
that everybody
sloths.
knows.
I told everyone I was the sloth tickler, and I impersonated a sloth tickler. I paid for my crimes. You know, I'm doing better.
And you'll do it again.
I'll
Uh,
do it again.
yeah, I think the goat man is just again, it all depends on if he has this human brain or this goat brain,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
goats are stubborn as all hell.
Yep,
Uh, so I think he'll try to ram again,
yeah.
and he'll
So
do it
he tickles the white monster and
to get him to
kinda
stand up, just at
to
least to
get him
get him
to
to
stand
stand up.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah. He tickles him, and then the goat man rolls on out from that
yeah,
dude, just yeets to the left and stands back up, and he's even more pissed than ever. He's ready. He's ready to go. He's got hooves up. He's trying to throw right hooks, but again, it's like it's like a foot of
yeah,
long white hair, and he has been missing arm day, and that is something he'll regret.
yeah. He can't. He's not gonna do much. As much as he is
Hmm.
smarter, he can
Hmm.
probably, if he either has the goat hooves or regular people hands,
Right.
um, he'll try to use something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe he'll try to ram one of the trees and just have one of the trees fall onto
Yeah.
the white monster.
What's
Um,
what's the point of being bipedal if you just have hooves on your hands? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you'd just be trying to like grab things.
yeah,
Like yeah, I don't know.
yeah, because the one that has the axe definitely has people hands.
Hmm.
It's basically just a human torso with a goat head and a goat legs.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay.
Uh, so I'm thinking he's gonna try to ram one of these trees.
Sure. Because he's so
Um,
angry, or
he's
just
so angry. He's
yeah,
so angry, and if he has all four hooves, this time he's gonna go down on all four to get more power
yeah,
behind it, and
yeah.
he's
I
gonna
like
knock
it.
one of those trees down. And
Oh
again, I'm
no.
just probably imagining that it's gonna land on this white monster.
Hmm.
That's probably what's gonna daze him. That's when he's gonna feel at least something
Yeah,
falling onto hitting him. Because now it's not just little tiny man.
it's a giant tree.
Yeah, it's a giant tree.
Yeah.
Now the white monster is pissed off.
Yeah, he's pissed off. He's honestly, he's pinned, right? He's pinned. A giant tree fell on him. But guess what? Guess what? He's got babies. Those babies
Yeah.
are all nice and strong. So the children come running up and save mama or papa, whoever is fighting. And guess what? Guess what? That sloth is like brushing the dust off of its shoulders.
Yeah, it was just a
It's
little
ready to
heavy.
go.
Yeah.
Just a little heavy. It was just a little heavy, and he needed his little ones to help him out.
Now, do you
So,
think at this point it'll use its claws?
oh, it's really close. It's getting its patience is wearing thin on this little goat boy.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? Like he's bouncing off walls. He's you know here, there, everywhere, hitting trees. That's
Screaming.
that's no way to act. Screaming? Come on. That's no way to act. Um and so I think what eventually will happen is the goat man will probably, I don't know, try like a spin kick up at the white monster, and then the white monster will grab the foot, swing it around, and throw it against a tree. Blam! Tree explodes, shards go everywhere. The goat man falls to the ground, shook. Shook, kind of hurt, wounded a little bit. And then it comes back at it with a side flying kick. It's going through the air. And then the white monster, shing shing, takes out the claws, baby.
Like
And
Wolverine.
then claws come shooting out.
Yeah.
Claws are out, baby. And swipe, hits him right in the ribs, rips open his side, rips open his leg. The goat man is like totally bummed. He's bummed out at it, honestly, that he's bleeding a lot. He's bleeding a whole lot. And
Listen, this is a lot worse than I anticipated.
yeah, I did not. I've made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, so he gets up and he's gushing blood, and he's like, "Man, you need to go. You need to go to a hospital. You can't." And he's
Yeah.
just like the goat man's just like slowly swinging at him, and the white monster has his hand on his head, holding him back, and he's just trying to swing at him with his little baby goat arms.
Yeah.
Because I assume, right? It's the image of what I get is this like he's got human body, like torso, but the arms are like just like the arms are like so human body, goat arms, human hands, um and that's kind of how I picture it. So
I think that's a
his
lot more terrifying than any of the other descriptions of him.
his his hand his arms are all herky jerky like a goat's, and then like he's just got human hands that move like this. And um yeah, I think he's bleeding out pretty quick. And
Yeah, and
you know
there's
what,
and there's no Goatman hospital
there's no
close
Goatman
by.
hospital.
Yeah.
But guess what, since the white monsters are so peaceful, what they do is they carry the goat man back to the cave. They set him down. They're gathering herbs, and then they end up just crushing his head because they figure out that they can't do anything. Sorry.
That's so great.
The end.
They're like, we're here. You're just putting together the herbs. You know what? I don't even want to do this anymore.
Actually, no. Gah.
I like that we have given automatically the Goatman was like this anime character that knew how to fight. He knew how to do like flying kicks
Yeah, right. I was just
only to
thinking
go up
about
against a brute.
I was just thinking about like Dragon Ball Z that entire
Mm.
time. So I assume it was something like that.
Yeah, who's a Dragon Ball Z character that's always getting his ass kicked?
Oh, I don't know. There's like, um, you know, Frieza's one of those characters that was like this powerful dude, right? He was this wicked powerful dude, this enemy kind of dude, or like anti-hero, whatever.
Yeah,
Um, and then, but then there's times where he'll just get his ass completely kicked. I don't
and he
know.
also screams.
And he also screams a
Yeah,
whole lot.
yeah, a high pitched
Everyone
scream.
screams.
Yeah,
Everyone screams at that in that show a
yeah.
whole lot.
It's
Um,
mainly screaming.
it's mostly
Yeah, it's
screaming,
main. Yeah,
and I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z since I was a kid, so um, but yeah, um, I think that's how it goes. Like they thought about helping him, and then they're like, "This dude is probably just gonna go all gung ho and
yeah.
like come at us again once we heal him with our
He's only gonna become stronger. He's
right."
gonna lose this fight and then become stronger and come back. What if Frieza came back gold one time? So we're gonna have a gold
Right.
goat man.
He's gonna come back Super Saiyan on us,
Yeah,
and this is just not gonna be great.
we're gonna stop it right here, right
Yeah.
now.
Or they could have tried, or they could have done this. They're fixing him, right? They're trying to fix him. They're rubbing essential oils. I don't know, herbs, essential oils, things like that on his wounds, but then they don't realize how strong they are, and they accidentally push their claws into his chest, and then he just accidentally dies. And so they're like, "All right, call it, call the time."
Time
Um,
now. He's
now
dead now.
he's dead. Now you impaled him, so
Yeah, I
um,
have this post credit scene
mhm,
that if the white monsters win, it shows just the body of the goat man
mhm,
there. The camera's panning over, and then you just see his goat hoof reach over and land on the top of some claws
mhm.
that were just shedded off. They broke off from some of them, so he's just going to come back next time with claws of his own embedded into his embedded
Round
into his hoop.
two.
Yeah, which probably he'll lose.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I have to ask. Did the white monsters win? In
by
your
the
in your
by, by the way, how much I'm talking shit about the goat man?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Because if he's coming back for round 2, you never know. It's like, I don't know.
so the goat man had 12
12 votes.
votes of the white monsters.
Mhm,
I mean, there were a lot of comments that came in on the original post.
mhm,
A lot of goat mans came in
mhm.
through the story post and then one on TikTok.
Oh god, you're
Uh,
stressing me out.
but ultimately, that didn't matter because the white monsters had 22, which is 10 more.
Nice. I knew it. I know the love would show through
Yeah,
and people would. Yes. I I am thrilled that that was the outcome because that would
yeah.
have definitely tarnished book sales.
I figured
Mhm.
it was a fitting for it.
Right.
I was like, I remember when I made the post, I was like, I was looking at my phone and I was just looking at it and it was just like white monster, white monster, white monster. I'm like, shit. uh, and then so when I did the story, I was like, okay, I'll look at how many votes are coming in
Mhm.
for Goatman, and then it shows the little percentages
Mhm.
on there, and it's like 80% to 20. White monster is still in the lead. And I was, okay, he's
Okay, yeah. That's good. I don't know. I mean, like this this story is something truly unique, I think. I don't know. It's been an incredible journey, and I don't know, man. It's
Let's be fair. You knew it was going to end this way. You knew that you were going to come out on top.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
knew I was gonna come out on top because, like, I don't know. We shared that video of yours, and we encouraged. We were like, please do the right thing. Vote for
Yeah.
the white monsters. The
Yeah,
the
I
goat man
think
can go.
we had Greg,
Mhm.
all the weird cryptocasters. He uh he even shared it and was like, "Go for the white monsters, everybody." The
Yeah,
one person I told was my fiance. I was like, "Just go, just do a vote for a goat man, please.
yeah.
Just once, just do one little vote."
You were you were the first goat man.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I had somebody, um, Tommy Cullum from the Let's Get Freaky podcast.
mhm,
He had voted white monsters in the original post, and then was also going to vote white monsters on the story post for the
mhm.
poll. And then I guess he hit Goatman by accident, and then had to message me and say "Hey, just so you know, that was an accident. I didn't mean to." And I was like, "You couldn't have just left it. It would have been fine."
He didn't even let it go. He had
Yeah,
to. He's like, "No,
immediately
I
right.
don't want this."
Yeah. The only person who really voted, who was really heavy-handed for
Mhm,
the Goatman, was the guy on TikTok.
yeah,
And he was just like, "Yeah, I think it would be a good fight,
mhm,
but I think the Goatman has intelligence over." And I was like,
mhm.
"Yeah, but that'll lead him to get into his emotions a little more." He
Right,
got angry,
right,
and
exactly.
also he was
That
a Goatman that just walked out of a cabin and didn't know what he was. So
that's how it is, you know, like Anakin got angry and look where it took him. You know what I mean? The dark side. He
yeah,
also had at one point all of his limbs cut off, and
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's just not a good road to go down.
When you
This
had to when you had described him being thrown against a tree,
yeah.
because I had put in my head that he was just this monster put together and sewn together,
Mhm.
I was like, "Oh, he's gonna throw him against the tree, and he's just gonna explode into all his parts that he was sewn together
Oh
from."
yeah, that would have been awesome. You know
Uh,
what would be cool? Um, it'd be sweet. I could just imagine this stuff like as like a cartoon. You know what I mean?
that's
Like
exactly. I was like,
putting
I wish I had the budget to like
right,
either do
right.
something like that.
There was this there was this show I used to watch when I was young, and it was like I think it was on Discovery Channel, and it was like two. It would be two animals that fought each other, and
Yeah, I know what
then
you're talking about.
do you know what I'm talking
It
about?
was on Animal Planet.
Animal Planet,
Yeah, yeah,
and
where they
they
would
would be
have
like,
a
yeah,
crocodile versus a shark or something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. That was wild shit. I love that show.
There
Um,
was also there was also a show. I think it was either on TNT or Spike TV. The guys network.
yeah,
And it was Deadliest Warrior, where they got warriors from different like
right.
cultures or
Coliseum
yeah,
era war. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
and had them fight against each other.
Yeah,
I think those are the things that I had in mind. Has anybody done that before? It'd be
yeah,
cool to listen to cryptids fight, right? And then
yeah.
if I had to, I would dress up in the costume and then put my fiance Tater in the other costume, and we would fight to show everybody.
Please, even if it was shorts, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? Oh my god, that would be so good. Yeah, it's it's. I mean, those shows would do reenactments. I'm sure reenactments like this would be fucking wildly expensive.
yeah. What?
And
Especially if we have Goatman jumping around like he's an anime character.
right, right. Well, you know, I think I don't know. It could be. Hey, people, if you want to
Yeah,
donate to Induced Fear so he can do cool ass anime cryptids fighting each other, God, that would be so sick. I would watch. You know what?
even
I
if it was
wonder.
just a short, I would love like a short, like little
10-second.
10-second clip of him running like crazy
Yeah,
at the white monster, only to get smacked down at the end of the clip.
yeah,
That would be amazing.
yeah. Um, you know what? I wonder what happened to to stations because I used to watch that Coliseum thing. I wonder if the the network was just like, all right, guys, we can't have a whole channel based around misogyny.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the guy's channel.
yeah.
I remember the
I think
commercials for Spike
eventually,
TV, and they were just
yeah.
like wild.
I think ultimately, I think the show didn't last because they ended up in a point where they did start doing
Mhm.
paranormal type creatures.
Oh
I think
yeah, okay.
I think they ended up with what was it? Vampires versus zombies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a whole thing for a while on like zombies and vampires because
Yeah,
like the History Channel did like a bunch of specials on like
yeah,
vampires, and they even had this one on how to survive a zombie apocalypse. And I was like, that was the beginning of like the end of the History Channel, because then after that stuff was like ancient aliens and stuff
yeah.
like that. But
Wild,
yeah, what
wild.
I gotta.
Well, guys, that is where the first episode of Cryptid Fight Club is going to end, with the White Monsters of Sherman, New York, winning on this one. But me and Matt did go on for quite a bit, so I was able to split this into 2 episodes, and you won't get one but two with Mothboy Matt. So just tune into the next episode where you can hear us talk more.